This is just AMZN on Monday, April 8th, 2019, with a look at the pre-market, pulling back a little bit from the close and the highs after hours on Friday. And you can still see the next target up here. Next line we've got is 1841.30, I believe. There it is. And I said on Friday, I think we could get there. Monday, it's not that far away. Well, here we're pulling back away from it. We're pulling down to around 1830, which is kind of the apex of this triangle we're forming on Friday, and the high we're getting into here, and I think the day before too. So let's step into the day and see how things played out. Very quickly, we get a pullback candle. Nice strong bearish candle, inside bullish candle. Okay, here we go. We're making a little bit of lower low. We still have the low from Friday. That's going to be any sort of support. It's right around 1825. So keep 1825 on your radar as just a good price level. It's one of the strikes that I like to go to with trades, just ending with the 25. And let's see what happens here. Okay, we got a nice little bounce off of 1825. 1825.11 on Friday. The low here was 1825.19. Nice hammer type candle. The body's a little bit large. It's only like a 1-to-1 from the body to the wick. So I'd like to see that a little bit smaller for a hammer. So hammer-ish. There's a little bit closer to, that's maybe, the body's maybe 1 to 1.5, or the wick is 1.5 times maybe the size of the body, something like that. Looks like the 5 is holding as resistance. We've not gotten to the 21 since we were back up here. But we haven't gotten below the 1825 price. Okay, here's another bounce down here. That's a very strong hammer. 1825.11. This is, the wick is multiple times the size of the body. The body's tiny. We actually have the same low. Let's see, if we look at this on maybe a 15-minute, that's probably a tweezer bottom, or maybe we have to wait for the next couple of candles. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I guess we need 2 more candles to see. Okay, so no, they probably are both, the opens here, they're probably both bullish candles on the 15, but still the same low. Maybe you can pick another time frame that gets these candles next to each other. I don't think it's the 15. If I remember, we'll check. But we got a little bit of a move up. Okay, so that hammer led to move up. The 21 is now acting as resistance, just like it was here. Let's see how that plays out. It's holding. Okay, yeah, we're not getting a close above the 21. Still not. Pulling back a little bit. Okay, right here, I'm seeing some lower highs and some higher lows with the low right here. So I definitely want to see a close above the 21 and probably a retest to it to say, yes, we're definitely going to go higher. In terms of going lower, I got to get a close below the 1825 price. It didn't happen yesterday or Friday. It didn't happen today yet. We got a squeeze forming. I'm not going to take a bearish trade if we get a close down here. I really got to get it below here, and then probably still have a retest back up to here. On the bullish side, I want to get above the 21, pull back probably to 1830. That's been a good price. It'd be great if I can retest the 21 from above and look for a really nice risk reward with, maybe my entry is going to be around 1830 and my stop probably around 1825, since that'll be my bearish signal. It's about a $5 setup, and we can go and look at some puts, or some calls to see how we would play that with the in the bullish direction. So the volume is waning. We got this momentum that's slowly losing its bearishness, possibly going to move bullish. Really nice high wave candle right on the 21, squeezing between the 20 and the 5, and really this is a pretty good decision point. We've got 20 minutes of some stair step here. Now we've got a high wave candle here. It really needs to get going bullish or bearish very soon. Maybe not in the very next candle, but in the next probably 15 minutes, you'd want to see that move because of that indecision candle. It'd be great if some value came in there, but Still, it's a nice high wave candle. Okay, looking a little more bullish. There you go. I said within 15, it did it within 10. It's breaking out. So we're clearly above this high, which makes this a higher high. And now I want to see that pull back into 1830. And if the squeeze could wait, that'd be great too. Nope, squeeze isn't going to wait. All right, so right now I'm not in yet. I might be missing this trade, but I'm not going to chase it because I've got 20 minutes of bullish candles out of a high wave candle. The 21's way down here. The 21 was acting as resistance. Let's see if it could come in as some support. The 21 and the 1830 price would be about the same thing right now, 1830.14. So we'll see if we can get down there. And we're not the, oh, there we go. Okay, the low here is 1830 on the nose. And we're right into the 21, which is 1830.27. So you can get in right here. Get in on this candle right now. That's your retest. Your stop's down here. Pretty soon you should be able to move your stop up here, take off a little bit. And then as long as the 21 continues going up, you can probably move it about right here and have a very small loss if it comes down, but not yet. We're not going to move it there yet. That's a really aggressive trade if you wanted to do that, which you can. Just make sure you know you're going to get stopped out on a lot of trades, and the few that it work on are going to, make bank every time you do it. But those are the only ones that work. Anyway, we are a few, 4 candles into the squeeze. Haven't quite gotten a bounce. This is some really, really small candles here, bearish engulfing. This is saying this could go lower. I mean, we just rolled over at the high. We've rolled over from highs before, like, all of these. And then we held the 21 going up. So I want to see the 21 hold as support again. And really, it's the same kind of setup as this. We got above the 21, pull back into it, and rally. Maybe we can get 2 bounces into it today. We'll see. There's our bounce. It's going. And there's our second pullback. That's an even smaller candle right there. So the option probably didn't move much. You can move your stop up, but probably only up to maybe the high wave candle or this bullish candle. I wouldn't move it here yet because it could pull back a little bit more and look like a double top that's going to trap some more bears. I would probably keep it down here to be more conservative, and just know I'm not going to lose a full R if it does come that far down. But I want to give this thing room to really run. I'm losing my bullish momentum on my squeeze already, and I haven't really done too much. But look at what we did yesterday or Friday. We totally had a great bounce, totally bounced right off the 21 and then rallied into the close. Now, if we can do something like that today, we got a long time till the close, and we have a little ways to go up to our next target, which I was kind of calling should hit today. So let's see what happens. And we got our bounce. Oh man, I went too fast. Look at these 2 candles right here. Those are so small. It's almost like some lower highs right here and relative lows, just letting this thing build up some more momentum. And then right here, you get a bearish candle in a whole 5 minute. That's a tiny, tiny candle. The range on that is under $2. And then it breaks out and it just goes. Look at this. It's going 25 minutes straight up pretty much. And there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 candles from the bullishness, or from that bearish candle. From this second bounce, it's 45 minutes up to here, and we're making new highs on the day. We should slow down here because this has really gotten parabolic. We should stop here, or not stop here, but we should maybe pull back some more into the 5, possibly into the 21. That'd be a bigger pullback. We could still go higher. It doesn't have to stop right here. That was a nice hammer right there above. We're not getting a close below. That's good. Okay, there's our first close below, but it's a nice kind of hammer candle. That's a good trapping hammer if it gets above. Yep, that was a trapping hammer. Those were, that's bears thinking this is going to roll over, double top. and these people are getting in before it closes below the neckline, which is down here, maybe below that level, or this candle's low. Nope, that's a trapping candle, and there we go, continuing on up. The next target, I don't remember where it is, 1850 something. Looks like we're going to get right into 1850. 1850 on the nose with that upper wick, get some selling up there. That's a great place to have some selling off. I mean, we could totally come back down here easily just because 1850 is such a nice round number. We haven't been up here in months. And there we go. We just kind of stayed up here. Okay, so great move on the day. This is where we're at on the daily. We've not been at this price since this day, 1010. The high here was 1858.56, and the open and the high were about $1 apart. So that's going to be some good resistance. The next line is 1863.84. So, I mean, that's within sight if we can keep this momentum going, but it doesn't have to. Kind of should, but it doesn't have to. So, I mean, we've had so much of a move here. I mean, if you think about it, in December, so less than 4 months ago, we were way down here in the 1300s, right? Low was 1307, and here we are just a few months later, up at 1850. I mean, 1307 to 1850, that's 500 something, $547, excuse me, $543 higher. That's probably like a good 40% higher on the stock. I mean, imagine if you had bought some calls down here, or right here, or right here, or anywhere on this way up with a few months for this thing to just go. This is fitting really well to what I had sketched out, drawing, getting up here into these levels, similar to how we got up here into these. And then once we got up here, we had this quick pullback. And so that came right into the 21. That's really what we're setting up here to do. If somehow we have some sort of, I don't want to scare anyone or say flash crash or something, but if we have some sort of like a quick pullback, I would expect it to come back down here, mid 1700s, 1747, something like that. You know, definitely touch the 21. But I mean, right now we're just moving up. So the high in the day is 1850 and 20 cents. I mean, it could technically keep doing this for a couple more days. I mean, that's what it did here. That's what it did right here. When people thought, oh, this thing's going to roll over with this line, I even drew this line in, and then it gapped up above it and it ran. I mean, that's really where we're at here. We've got these relative highs here with these two bearish candles to this one, relative high. And then we gapped above it, and here we are moving up, you know. This is a bullish gap and go up here. It actually did retest a little bit, and now it's just continuing. So there's so many bears trapped here that, and we're starting to, stop some of them out that are still in from over here, which if bears are still in from over here and didn't take profits down here, I mean, that's just lazy. You got to take those profits. So we're getting near to some of these lows, but that's in the higher 1800s and into 1900s. That we'll see if we get there soon. But I would anticipate a little bit more sideways. Look at the way that the 5 is going. I mean, this was going really parabolic, then sideways, and now it's going up a little bit more steady. It could just keep grinding up a little bit more steady, and because it's done that before, but it likes to go up and then have a rest, and then go up and have a rest or pull back. So I guess we'll see what this is. If we zoom back in on the 5, and then we're going to look at our calls. Either you could have taken the breakout, but I like the pullback into the 21 here or here. Let's see what the prices are at 11 and 11:30. And I'm looking at the 1850 call expiring this week. And on the 11 o'clock candle, I got a low of 908. And on the 11:30 candle, I got a low of 883. This would have been one where I'd probably be set up 9 by 8 because it was a nice range in here. Actually, that's 850. Huh. 9 by 8, I mean, that would have even been more range. And at this point, I mean, we don't have a huge range in the day down in here. So that might kind of dissuade you from using the 1850, but it's nice. It's the next, quarter strike, not out of the, that is out of the money. The 1825 is in the money, but the 1850 is out of the money, which means it could get some pretty good gains. So if you had gotten in 9 by 8, or even had you gotten in like 10 by 9 and just gotten in on its way up here, probably got a little bit of better fill if you had just had a limit. Now, if you had a stop limit, I don't know if that would have filled. But that just kept on charging, made it up to the high, the opening high around $12 pretty quickly. Continued going up, paused at that 1841.30 line, continued going up, and then we were up into 1850, about up in here. And so had you gotten in at 9, that would have been a huge run up to 17. I mean, you almost doubled your position had you held that long. And I mean, why not hold that long? Maybe you took some off when we got in 1841, but if you had your stop underneath here, I mean, you take off a little bit and then just keep your stop here and take some of the position, even more up, even higher as it goes on up here. Really, you didn't even really have much of a sell signal. I mean, this was the most, probably 3 bearish candles in a row and a close below the support or resistance line here. But on this candle, 1245 is right here. It didn't even take out this low. So, it didn't take out this low. I mean, if you were just trailing your stop, it didn't even get close enough to touch a stop. And then it was just going on up higher, which meant your stop could have been here, and then 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 here, and then here, and maybe you got stopped out around 1550 when pulled down below this. But still, 1550 minus 9, that's 650. That's a 6.5 hour gain on a huge breakout here. If you look at if you look at the puts, where's the bearishness today? Virtually non-existent. I mean, at open, there was some there. This is the 1825 puts, or the next strike essentially out of the money. We do have the 1827.50 and 1825. But yeah, looking at the 1825, we just lost value all day long. People were trying to buy this, looking for the bounce. Didn't happen. Just lost value all day long. And yeah, nothing really to see here. So if we go back, let's see. If we go back to this, it would be nice tomorrow to have a pullback into 1841.30. Doesn't have to happen. That'd be a really nice S-curve to do that and then continue higher. We don't have to do it. We had some nice S-curves. I'll use this example. We curved down, even pulled back a little further and then bounced. Today was an S-curve. We pulled back down to yesterday's low or Friday's low, and then had a really nice rally. You zoom out and you see these, oops, too far. I was going to say, you zoom out and you see how these things move, and you start to see, oh, look, we've been moving up from this. This is about a 45, about a 45-point move from here up to here. I'm going to pull back and then continue, So, yeah, just got to be ready for those pullbacks. And there were some people ready today. There were some people buying down here. That's what made some of those lower wicks. We never even got a close below, let's see, that's the lowest close in the 5-minute. And that didn't really do anything. It didn't take out any other small candles, didn't take out a hammer, didn't even take out the low. It just was a small candle. People looking for that to roll over off the 21 and take the squeeze, and it didn't happen, So I guess we'll be back tomorrow to see what we're going to end up doing, which way we're going to go. And I hope this makes sense and you can get some setups off of something like this coming up in the market and being able to see how that's playing out. I mean, this was a key candle. These were all key candles right here, these smaller ones, and then into this indecision one right here. and then for that breakout and a double retest. Just waiting. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of not trading and a lot of waiting. And if you can wait long enough for something like this to set up, I mean, the reward is amazing. It's a huge reward, you know? So we'll look for more of those tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed this video. This is Justin AMZN.